Okay, print friends, I'm going to do our first demo. It's a very simple one, and I'm doing it in my dining room. And I put down an old sheet. And I want to try to do demos from my house so I can show you how to work in your house, in your living space. And I put this sheet out because I want to separate my working space from my eating space or things like that. So this is my working space right now. And what I have here are a bunch of Collagraph plates that I've made in preparation for our project. And you can recognize some things. This is from an onion bag. Here's a paper towel, a feather. There are textured papers here, some fabric, some other fabrics. I picked these because they are textured. And speaking of texture, here is my cat, Otis, our special guest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rubbing. But I have to say, rubbing isn't a very sexy word. And the thing that we do when we're making art is we often apply a foreign word to it to make it sound better. So I'm going to call this by its foreign word, which is frottage. Now, can everybody repeat after me? Frottage. All right. Okay, we're going to do some frottage. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this, just, because I can, pick this one. And I'm going to ask you to do 6 pieces of frottage. I'm not sure if it's okay to say frottages. I'm going to ask you to do 6 works of frottage. And in our second demo, we're going to print this. So doing a frottage is a nice preview for what you're going to see when you print it. And what I'm going to do is lay this flat. I'm going to put a piece of printer paper over it. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it does have to be thin. And I'm going to take a graphite stick, which you have in your kits. I've ordered some for you. And it's because it's not the most obvious drawing tool, and it'll serve you later for other projects you do. Okay, one hand is going to hold on to this, and the other hand is going to pass over the surface. Now, I'm not sure that this is all that rewarding, so I'm going to try and also get some marks in between these so I can get a real idea about what this is going to print like. When we roll over the plates, the Collagraph plates, with the brayer that we have, that's in your kit, it's soft. And so it recognizes the plate kind of right down to the bottom. Okay, so many of you have done this as kids, and I have in our handout a little, precaution to try and forget that experience of doing a rubbing as children. Because, we picked objects that were maybe not fine art objects per se, like a leaf. You go outside, you do it, you rub a leaf. And we're not doing that. We are making our own images, from varied materials. So this is a textured paper that you would do scrapbooking with or something like that. And then these are pieces of manila envelope, right? And I've glued them down with regular glue. And then I have sealed my plate front and back with matte medium. And you'll have a little container, of matte medium in your kit. And it's good to seal the back because it keeps this from warping. If you've done sort of to the front the same as you've done to the back, then it ends up being flat. Okay? So let's see. I can get an idea of what that looks like. It's not the neatest thing, but this is a preview, right? Okay, this is looking nice. See how faithful this is to the actual texture of our matrix? if you remember correctly, the matrix is the mother. It's the thing that has all the printable information, right? And all of the prints that come from the matrix are her identical babies, right? So if you were going to do more than one rubbing, you would be making, identical prints. And while these are not traditional prints, these are prints in that they are a record of the matrix. And as I mentioned, this is a preview for the print we're going to make. This is part A of the project. So think about this as you build your matrix. Okay, what sorts of textures or patterns do you want in your image? And keep in mind, there's a failure rate. If you want to have 6 keepers, you're going to have to do more than 6, or else do a rubbing and then you'll realize, oh, this is not what I want. And so you can tear things off of your Collagraph plate. You can start over. The only thing that you need to remember is drying time. That's it. These are cheap materials. They're around your house. And you may find a lot of other things that are around your house that I haven't shown you here. So you need to investigate your surroundings, and you need to use really pedestrian materials like glue, like printer paper, like mat board. And you can use corrugated cardboard too. I'm curious about how the corrugation will show in this image, because it'll be stripy, you'll see it. Okay, so you have your assignment sheets. Hopefully you have a studio chum with you who's looking interested. And now you need to get to work and make some Collagraph plates. Okay, so just as a follow-up, here is a frottage of each of these plates that I have. You can see that, sometimes it's hard to look at it straight on with straight light. You can see the texture that's on the plate, and then you can see the texture that's in the frottage, right? And it's a great preview of what we're going to have in the print. And remember I said that this might have the stripes in it? It totally reflected the stripes in the corrugated cardboard. So that's pretty cool. So let me point out one thing in these frottages, and that is they're very faithful for one, but the left part in the plate is the left part in the frottage. There is no left to right reversal. Whereas when we print them, there is going to be a left to right reversal. And that's important to remember, because let's say, for example, if you want to have text on your Collagraph plate. Let's say you want to write the word red, and you want to read it like that in the print. If you write it red on the Collagraph plate, it's going to be "der" in the print. Okay, so you really need to think about that. Not only will the word be backwards, the letters will be backwards too. But with your frottage, it is a completely faithful rendering. Right is right, left is left. And we want to finish with the print. Here, this is a really awesome one. We want to finish with the print. So think about it as making a print. So it'll have a left to right reversal. And the frottage, again, as I said, is a preview. All right, get going, make some plates.